Hey, this is Big Los, and welcome back to another series of Neverwinter Nights 2 videos. This time I got a request for another fan-made campaign, this time Icewind Dale. Now, it's been done by, I think, one other person on YouTube, but, you know, I'm willing to give it a shot. I've actually never played Icewind Dale. This campaign is actually the reworking of the original Icewind Dale game that came out in the early 2000s. So I've never played that game. I've seen a little bit of it, not too much, so it'll be pretty much blind for me. What I know about Icewind Dale and the whole region, I've read in the R.A. Salvatore books. What was it? The Dark Elf trilogy, the Icewind Dale trilogy. Those 6 books, I've read those. You know. So if any of those references or any references from those books are in this campaign, I would be prepared for that. So this campaign starts at level 1, and you can have up to 6 people in your party. However, it recommends it for 4. That way it'll be somewhat challenging. If it's up to 6, it'll be too easy. So I created 4 characters off camera, and I'm gonna go through these characters after I pick them. So let me start the campaign. My main character is going to be a build called the Sacred Shadow Boxer. So let's select him. Let's go down here. This is all in alphabetical order. It starts with an S. Sanjay Nehru, because the first level is a monk. Alright, so let's pick him. He is a Sacred Shadow Boxer, of course. And I'll go through all of the skills and the feats that I have chosen. Let's go into exploration mode. So this is my character right here. This is the main character, Sanjay. I don't know if he really looks like a Sanjay. He looks like a badass, you know. So, let's open up the character sheet. Sanjay's stats are Strength 10, Dex 18, Con 12, Intelligence 12, Wisdom 14, and a Charisma of 8. These are the corresponding modifiers. I'm going to go through all this with the other 3 characters that I've built off camera. He is lawful neutral because you have to be lawful to be a monk. His deity is Eldath, and he has the wild child background. So we're going to go to feats. So having this feat gives him bonuses to tumble, to hide, move silently, survival. Although I don't think we're going to be using survival. At penalties to lore and appraise, so that's fine. Feats that were picked at level 1 were dodge and mobility. I'm thinking that these are requirements for one of the prestige classes that we're going to be picking later. I think Shadow Dancer specifically requires these 2 feats. And as a monk, you get improved unarmed strike, so you use your fists as weapons, and they start out at 1d6. And they go up after you gain enough levels in Monk. You also have access to Stunning Fist, which you could do once per day, and the target has to succeed at a Fortitude save. The DC is 10 plus half the attacker's level plus the attacker's Wisdom modifier, which is 2 in this case. If they fail that save, they are stunned. For 3 rounds, it says. And for every 4 levels, your uses of that goes up. So it's kind of useful. Sort of. I won't be using it too much. You also have Flurry of Blows, which is down here. So you get more attacks at the cost of an attack bonus. Also, your Monk AC bonus is you add your Wisdom modifier to your armor class so long as you're not wearing any armor. And you get an additional 1 point of armor class every 5 levels. Let's go to skills. At level 1, the skills that I picked were concentration, 4 points went into concentration. 4 points went into hide. 4 points went into lore. Although it is a penalty because our intelligence is only 8. 4 points went into move silently, so that's 9. 4 points went into spot. And 4 points went into tumble, so we can move around. Move around the enemy without a great risk of being attacked. You know, risking an attack of opportunity. If you make a good tumble check, they won't attack you. So I think that's it, pretty much. Yep. Alright, so let's get the rest of our party going. Oh yeah, when you start out this campaign, you start in this room called the party creation room. There's really nowhere for you to go. You can't go up this spiral staircase. But there's a guy here called the Dungeon Master, whom you talk to set up your party. So let's talk to him.
Greetings.
Hello there. How may I be of service? So this is where we bring up the party creation interface, and this is how we start the game. But we can also ask him some questions. Can you give me any information about this campaign that will help me with party creation decisions? What would you like to know? How many companions can I have? You may journey with a party of up to 6. Party size does make a difference in the speed of level progression, so choose wisely. May I ask another question? Of course. Tell me about the possible companions that I may add throughout the campaign. At this point, there are no companions other than the ones you create yourself or play in multiplayer. We may add some of the available companions from the IE modding community at a later date. They have not been added at this point. Okay. I'm not really sure what that is. So if anybody watching this knows what that is, just feel free to leave a comment. Oh yeah, all these builds that I've picked, I will post a link on the description to all of them. Which classes will work best for this campaign? A balanced party works well. A tank, a healer, mage type, and a rogue. And, coincidentally, that's who I picked. A fighter works well in the beginning. A mage is a great addition for taking out powerful enemies later in the campaign. A cleric is always good for healing. And a rogue, or someone with open locks and disarm traps skills, or disarm traps and opening chests, since there are chests that cannot be bashed, but can be picked. So I do have a rogue character, and we'll meet him in a second. Only classes from the original Icewind Dale are fully supported. Class-specific items not in the original Icewind Dale could be crafted if you choose to play non-Icewind Dale classes. So I believe that regular Icewind Dale used version 2 rules of D&D. Neverwinter Nights 2, of course, uses version 3.5 rules. So they must have did the conversion. It's not super hard, but you know, it does entitle some work going into it. Plus, I like that you don't have to calculate THAC0. I hate doing that. You know, that sucks. May I ask another question? What would you like to know? Which skills are used? Conversation skills is misspelled, such as diplomacy, are not used. That's a tragedy. Sleight of hand is not as useful as there are only a few NPCs to pickpocket. Crafting skills can be useful as basic crafting has been implemented. Can I ask another question? I think we're done with this line of questioning. So I would like to see the party creation interface. Alright, here we go. This is where we pick our party. So we already have our first slot with Sanjay. So let's add a character. The first character that we're going to add is our roguish character, and his name is... Where's he at? Started with an F. I'm in the wrong spot. Here it is. Frido Oaken. He is a strong heart halfling. He's male. And he is what is known as a master bleeder. And we'll go into that in a second. So we'll add him. The next one, I'm going to add a magic user. She's actually going to be our healing character. And I'll go into like all the spells that I picked and stuff. Her name is Cara Rogers. And I just picked her name just from doing the randomized names. Another one, our last one, is another female elf character, Evelyn Xiloufin. So let's add her. Alright. So we have our party of 4 characters. And I guess we can change our party name. It's kind of lame. The Adventurers. Let's see. What is a good name that is not lame? I can't even... I'm drawing like a blank right now. How about like something from Wheel of Fortune? How about like Chip and Icewind Dale? And the party motto... I can't really think of anything. Now, if I was an evil party, which I'm not, I would have something to write immediately. But, eh. Man, I can't even think of anything. What would be a good motto? I don't know. Who needs mottos? And the biography, that is just way too much to write here. And see, this is customized for Storm of Zahir. Unfortunately, you can't clear it all, so let's just erase everything. Since we're not doing the Storm of Zahir campaign, there goes my frame rate for holding down the backspace button. Party biography. Who wants to know? Alright. Alright, so we have our 3 other characters, so let's get introduced to them.
Perhaps so.
Alright, so this is Frido Oaken. Let's bring up his character sheet. He's a strong heart halfling, like I said before. He is a master bleeder. So he starts out level 1 rogue. The feats that we pick, since he's a strong heart halfling, we get 2 feats, just like a human. He gets 2 weapon fighting, and he gets dodge. The background feat that we picked is Wild Child. Whoa, what is happening here? Alright, well, stop freaking out. Alright, it's Wild Child, so it's the same as Sanjay's over here. His deity is Brandobarus. His attributes: Strength 11, Dexterity 19, Constitution 12, Intelligence 16, and Wisdom and Charisma are both at 8. So we didn't modify those. That's what they started with. So this guy's going to be our roguish character. He's going to be a 2-weapon fighter. Now, his skills, he actually gets a lot of skills. Now, this guy said that we're not going to be using conversation skills, but I put 4 into bluff anyway, and there is a penalty, -1. And then I put 4 into disable device. I put 4 into hide. 4 into lore. 4 into move silently. 4 into open lock. 4 into search. 4 into set trap, although we aren't really going to be using that. 4 into spot, and there's a penalty. 4 into tumble, and 4 into use magic device. And I think that's pretty much it for this character. We'll learn a little bit more about the build as the game progresses. The next one over here, this is Evelyn Xiloufin. She is a sun elf. And her build is the Ascendant. Okay, her first level is a wizard, so she has a cat familiar. What happened to your cat? You can't summon your familiar here? I guess not. Okay, well... Oh, no room to summon. Why not? Why is there no room to summon? Alright, well, I guess it won't let me summon anything here. Whatever. She is a generalist wizard. She doesn't specialize in anything. The lone feat that we picked at first level is a background feat. It is Spellcasting Prodigy, which actually gives a 2-point bonus to her intelligence when calculating saving throw difficulty classes of spells that she casts. Her attribute strength is 12, dexterity is 14, constitution is 12, intelligence is 20. So actually her modifier when calculating spell saves would be +6. And then her wisdom and charisma are both 8. We did modify those. She is chaotic neutral. We picked veteran as a background, which gives +1 to fortitude, -1 to diplomacy. It doesn't matter since we're not going to be using conversation skills. And her deity is Coralon Laurenthian. Her skills put 4 into concentration, 4 into diplomacy, even though you said that we're not going to be using... Actually, I put 2 into diplomacy, but it uses up 4 ranks. Also 2 into hide. Oh yeah, we have a bonus, so this is actually a 0 net right now. I put 2 into hide, which uses up 4 ranks. I put 4 into lore, which bumps it up to a 9. I put 4 ranks into move silently, which is actually 2 ranks since it's cross class. And then I put 4 into spellcraft. And then I had 4 left over for the next level because we don't get able learner until level 3. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for Evelyn.
Yes?
Our last character is Cara Rogers. Once again, I got this name by doing the random buttons on the name. She is a Hellfire Lord. So her attributes are strength is 16, dexterity was left at 8, constitution is 14, intelligence is 14, wisdom was left at 8, and her charisma is 16. Her first class is a favored soul. Since she's a human, she gets 2 feats, which I gave her the able learner feat, and I gave her the practice spellcaster favored soul feat. That's what it called for. We won't actually be using this until we get 2 more levels of whatever else we're going to give her. You know, we'll find that out later. Also, her background, she got natural leader, which gives +1 to companion's attack rolls at the cost of -1 to our saves, which I think is pretty good. And what else? I think that... Oh, yeah. Her deity. That's right. Her deity is Talos, and she's chaotic neutral.
What?
Frido is true neutral. I don't think I mentioned that. Alright, so I think we're ready to begin here. If I haven't left anything out, let's...
Very well.
Talk to the Dungeon Master and start the game.
Greetings.
How may I be of service? I'd like to start the campaign now. Por favor. Once you leave If you wish to access the party creation interface, just hit the escape key and select party editor. Are you sure you would like to leave this area? Yes, I would like to start the campaign without further ado. There's like objects here that you can interact with, but they're empty. I checked that earlier. Yes, off we go. Alright, so off we go.
Our tale begins here, in the quiet fishing village of Easthaven, one of the so-called 10 towns of Icewind Dale. The tiny community is hardly a town, but rather a collection of ramshackle huts crowded together upon the icy shores of Loch Dinashire. Here, within a dimly lit tavern, a group of travelers sit huddled around a table, swapping tales and making grand plans for the future, completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. Who might you be?
Greetings, Hrothgar. My name is Sanjay.
Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I would offer you this small piece of advice. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior. These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me. That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door, at Pomab's Emporium. Pomab's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Farewell. Alright, so we're in this tavern. The Winter's Cradle Tavern. In Icewind Dale somewhere. And actually, I have to get going pretty soon, so I guess we'll just leave it at that. And we'll pick up in the next episode, so... This is Big Los signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, man. Tango Windia.